Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM, you're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I am here today with Tina.
Good morning.
My new...
or afternoon, rather.
Yes, actually, technically, I guess it is afternoon now. And Tina, of course, y'all met her last week, is our new director of events at the Central Virginia Business Coalition. And I am so happy to have her and all the wonderful talents that she brings along with her and the things that I now do not have to do because she is here.
That's right.
So I'm really happy to have her. And then also I have two guests in with me today. We're going to be talking with Beth Shan McLeod from Providence Veterans Farm. How are you?
I am doing wonderful this morning.
And Tina Miller with Tupperware, who we have had on before and we are happy to have back with us.
Thank you.
We're going to talk a little bit about shopping local and talking about Tupperware, which quite honestly, everyone needs to have. And if you don't, you should. So
Absolutely.
we're gonna talk about that. But before we do, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor this month, Visiting Angels of Lynchburg. So I found out this month is actually National Home Healthcare Month, Home Health Provider Month. And so Visiting Angels is located in Lynchburg. They serve Lynchburg, Forest, Amherst, Campbell, and surrounding areas. And if you are looking for a business that can help take care of your family's in-home needs, whether you have an elderly parent or, even if it's a child or someone that needs help with in-home care, Visiting Angels is definitely who you need to contact. They do everything from, like I said, in-home personal care, respite care. They can just come in 1 day a week. They can come in, 3 every day. They help to cook. They help to do small chores and just help to keep your family member in the home where you don't have to, send them out to a nursing home and they're able to kind of stay with their own things and give you peace of mind while they're doing that. So if you're interested in learning more, you can find out at visitingangels.com/Lynchburg, or you can call them at 434-337-3836.
They can be thinking about convalescing as well, like if they've recovering from surgery or an injury or something like that.
Yep, yeah. They do. They do help with that too. Thank you, because I had forgotten about that. And I think that's a really important thing for people to think about, because you may just need them for that short bit of time. Or, I should have probably called Mike when I got back from Disney, because I needed to convalesce. I couldn't move. I was sitting on my couch. I'm like, can you come help feed me? I'm going to ask for Mike personally. But no, definitely I want to give a shout out to Visiting Angels. They have been sponsoring our podcast since the beginning, and we are greatly appreciative to them. So wanted to bring up a couple of quick things going on. As you know, Veterans Day is tomorrow.
It is.
Tomorrow.
Today's the Marine Corps birthday.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
It is. And so with Veterans Day tomorrow, it's always important for us to, thank those that have served and thank those who are, out there doing things so that I can continue to be here doing what I'm doing. And, it's not a holiday for you just to get out and have a day off. I mean, for those of you who are off, good. But, make sure that you're celebrating the real reason for why we are. And, I know that the D-Day Memorial is hosting an event up at the memorial. Ferguson Family Provisions, one of our members who is also a food truck in our area, they're going to have their food truck at the Welcome Center tomorrow, and 100% of the proceeds is being donated from their food. So
bravo to them. That's
wonderful. And if you haven't eaten Ferguson Family Provisions, you definitely need to. They're really, really good. It's fabulous food. Wanted to bring up, we have the Christmas parades coming up for both Bedford and Lynchburg, and the Central Virginia Business Coalition does run both of those parades. So we are still accepting applications through the 19th.
And that's a week from Friday. This Friday, a week from Friday.
So you can mail them in. Our address is 14805 Forest Road, Suite 107. And if you're looking for an application, you can contact Tina.
Yeah, it's Tina at cvabc.org.
And she can shoot you out those applications for Bedford and Lynchburg, and make sure you get those in time, so that, we're back to traditional parade this year.
It's nice. It'll be so nice.
Yeah.
Community.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Community. And that's what it's about. We're excited. We have marching bands. We have the clowns back.
Yeah.
We have fire trucks. We have, radio stations. We have floats. I'm super excited to see some of these floats that people have been telling me that they're building, because I would love to see us back to the days where it's a lot of floats, not just, cars driving. I want to see those fancy floats.
Yes.
I remember I used to, when I was younger, I did the Christmas parade in Lynchburg for my Pee Wee cheerleading squad, and we had to go weeks. And I'm going to tell you, now part of me dreads this, but I love it, where you put the chicken wire around the
tissue paper.
Oh my gosh, the tissue paper. If you've never stuffed tissue paper into those little teeny holes of chicken wire, you've never been in a parade before.
That's right.
Because it is horrible.
Those were the good old days, though.
It's beautiful.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of our older parades, and I just, sometimes you look at them and go, I wish we could do that again. And we can. We just need people to get out and do it.
Yeah.
So definitely check out those parades. Like we said, the deadline is the 19th. That is what gives us time to get everybody set and sending out packets to let
the
you
welcome
know
packs and where
you're going. And that is the December 4th is the Bedford Parade at 11 a.m. Lynchburg Parade is December 5th at 4 p.m. And then also just to make sure we mention that the tree lighting in Bedford is held also the same day as the parade.
At 3, right?
Yes.
Yes,
So
at 3 o'clock.
starting at 3, well, we're going to start off with carriage rides. That'll go from 3 to 6, and they'll be through downtown Bedford. So we'll have registration up for those within the next week. And then John Hayden, he does the majority of the tree lighting. He puts together the tree. We partner with him, but he's still accepting Christmas vendors. If you sell Christmassy type items, he is still accepting those. But we'll have the ice carver back. He's done ice carving the past 3 years, and I don't even know how you do that. Like, watching him with that chainsaw, it's just amazing. And then of course, we will have the carriage rides and the vendors and hot chocolate and cider and
Santa Claus.
So it's a fabulous day all around to be in Bedford. The 5K race is that morning, run by the YMCA in Bedford. And so if you're a runner or a walker or a skipper or a jogger or whatever you do, you can sign up for that and start your day off exercising, and then watch the parade, visit the downtown businesses in between that and the tree lighting, do some shopping, go by the Bedford Welcome Center. They'll have their Festival of Trees. We'll have started there, and they have that whole entire beautiful welcome center full of just gorgeous trees. And they have the different scavenger hunts your kids can do, and they find different things off each tree. It's my daughter's favorite thing to do. So, go visit the Festival of Trees, drive through Liberty Lake Park and see the lights. I mean, Bedford is the place to be on December 4th. I'm just saying, all day. Just spend your whole day here. Plan it, and there's plenty of places to stop and eat and shop and hang out. So that was pretty.
Again, let's just remind them.
And then
Friday 19th is the deadline.
Yeah, Friday the 19th is the deadline. And then one last thing I will mention before we get to talking with our guest today is we are the Central Virginia Business Coalition is partnering with 2 nonprofits for this season, and I'm going to chat a little bit about United Methodist Family Services. We have partnered with them, and we have a United Methodist Family Services giving tree at our office, where business members or even the community, if you want to come in and take an ornament off the tree of things that they need, or if you just want us to send you a list, they have sent us a list of items, and it's simple things: crayons, coloring books, socks, underwear, toothbrushes, toothpaste, things that they can give to their foster families who are taking care of foster children, and give them something on Christmas, from them. It's just, a fun stocking stuffers, or just things that they can help provide them. Gift certificates. If you're a local business and you say, hey, I'd like to donate $10 gift certificates. Please let us know. We'd love to pick them up and have them there. Another thing that we are doing is we are doing a Merry membership drive from now through December the 10th. So you have about a month. If you're a business that has thought about joining the CVABC, haven't done it yet, right now is a great time to do it. We're doing some drawings and some giveaways for new members, but $10 of every membership will go into a fund that we will write a check to United Methodist Family Services to then purchase any things they may need right there towards Christmas, buy some gift cards, fill in some space. So, by joining us, you're going to get some great benefits and
it's
also
a win-win.
give back. It is.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous win-win.
Yeah.
And then Tina, tell us what we're doing for our other nonprofit.
The other nonprofit is Daily Bread, Lynchburg Daily Bread. Their Thanksgiving, the last 2 years, if you're not aware, their need has tenfold, I guess you could say. It has increased substantially, but not always their donations. So a lot of folks in the Bedford Forest area perhaps maybe be thinking, driving into Lynchburg is quite a haul. But we have set up a box for them to take donations for their Thanksgiving meal that they'll be serving this year. And it's in our office in Forest. So if you're there at the Kroger and you're doing some shopping, pick up a couple of things and bring them on down, say hi, and toss them in the bin. They'd appreciate it.
Yeah, that's and I love the fact that we're kind of doing two different things, food and then needs and stuff for Christmas. Yep. So I think that kind of wraps up all the stuff
deadline the 19th.
and so I'm just going to say Tina's going to keep putting that out there.
Yes.
Don't call me. I'm horrible, and I know Diane, if she's listening, she's shaking her head yes right now. I'm horrible about letting people slide past the deadline.
No.
People will call me they'll call me December 3rd, be like, "Can I get in the parade?" I'm like, "Yes." Sure, it's tomorrow, be there at 11 a.m. No, but we do have to stick to the deadlines, and we do that for our safety, your safety, and because we also have to coordinate with town and different entities. And so we need it to be in by the 19th. Now, that is a Friday. I'm going to say if we get it through the mail over the weekend on Monday, that is it. But I didn't say that. I'm sorry. The 19th. The 19th.
Did she see the evil look I was giving her?
I'm going to turn my back. I got to turn my back now. So anyway, yes, we definitely need those in on time.
Yes.
But okay. So I'll turn back around, look at Tina.
All righty.
So now we have Beth Shan McLeod with us, and I actually got the opportunity to talk with Beth Shan this past week. She was on my radio show on WLNI, Mind Your Business, that I host. But I wanted to also have her on the podcast because I love what her and her husband are doing. It's such a much needed organization, and they're fundraising as well. And we want to talk about that. So tell us a little bit about Providence Veterans Farms, as a whole.
So as a whole, Providence Veterans Farm is a community that helps military families, first responder families, and primarily with trauma. When the member is going through something, it's not isolated to just the member. It is going to affect the entire family. So our mission is to help that family, whether that's through financial means, whether that's through classes. We have several classes that we run. One is a trauma class. We have a relationship class. We have a financial class. Just things that they need. Simple things. So like the Lynchburg Reserve Unit is actually deploying. They will be leaving on December 1st. And while they're gone, things break. Cars break and houses break. And who do you call and how do you get help? And so it's just a community of help. And we also have some cabins on site at the farm. We have 4 cabins, and we have veterans who maybe they need 24 or 72 hours. They just need to get away, or maybe they need something for 3 to 6 months or a year. So we're just there to support and help with trauma. And that's our primary mission.
Now, are you a nonprofit?
We are a nonprofit.
So you rely heavily on contributions.
Well, so that was our original plan. So, we had never done a nonprofit before and perhaps didn't count the cost just as much as, you just kind of dive in because people need help. And so you feel like my husband's in the Navy, and when he was deployed and came back, things were very challenging and there just wasn't a lot of help. So you jump in and say, here we are. And the funding became a challenge because all of a sudden we were fundraisers instead of helping people. And that's not really what we started out to do.
Mm-hmm.
So COVID actually gave us a great break because all of a sudden people were, not coming out as much. And we were right in the middle of building a mushroom growing facility. And so we sell gourmet mushrooms and the veterans grow them and they pick them. And we go to market with them. And so it's basically a self-sustaining nonprofit. And so the goal is for those mushrooms to cover the expenses and the challenges that are presented to us. We're not there yet, but we're almost.
But tomorrow is Veterans Day.
Tomorrow
and what
is
better
Veteran
way
Day.
to honor a veteran
That's
in
right.
your life than to give a contribution in their name?
That's true. Yes, that
Yes.
would be a blessing.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
So
before we get into the mushrooms, though, I want to bring back one thing you were talking about, and here's what I love about what you guys do. A lot of places they help the veterans and they solely focus on the veteran, but you focus on the veteran and the families that are
Very much
affected
so.
as well, and that's what I really love. And so I have one of my questions is, you were talking about how when people leave, cars break, things break, maybe your heat goes out, maybe your something happens with your electricity
or plumbing.
Yes.
That's a bad one.
Do you guys partner with any local businesses to have them do stuff at discounted rate or even offer their services? Or would you like to do that?
Yes, we would like to do that. Yes. So we try to connect them. And that's primarily what we try to do. We have, there's a lot of local businesses that are very much wanting to help the veteran community. And so we call them quite often. They offer their service as a discounted rate. And we try to connect that.
Okay.
So yes, anybody who is willing to step into that role, we would love to have you contact us, and we would love to have you kind of on call.
I think that's kind of, and the reason it kind of came into my brain, I was thinking about places like the free clinic where different doctors give their time at different times to help out there. It would be great to have that list of businesses that would say, hey, I'm willing to do so many hours, maybe a month. Maybe they just want to give 5 or 6 hours. You can call. But if you're out there, hint any of my CVABC service providers, Brandon Brown, that wants to help, please contact Beth Shan or contact me, and I can get you with her, because I just think, I love the fact that they help the families as well. And a lot of people, and let's go back to the trauma too, you hear so much about the veterans and they come back from being overseas and we have no idea what they go through. I mean, I think sometimes my day is bad because, I don't know, somebody yelled at me. That ain't nothing. That is nothing compared to what they go through for me, for you and for everyone listening. And so I think that knowing that when they're over there that their family is being taken care of.
Yes, it's a very,
huge.
very big relief to them.
Yes. And then also the support you provide them when they come back.
Correct. And the whole family, when they come back, I mean, anybody who's separated for a year, there's challenges to just that separation for a year.
For them coming home.
Right. So you're coming back, the wife has typically had to take care of many things that she didn't before. And she typically is looking for a break, but it's not like they've been on a vacation. It's not a vacation. It's it's an environment that's very challenging to them as well. And so bringing that unit back together and working through those challenges, that's part of what we provide, is a place where you can come. There's other people, when you hear your own spouse speak, there's a lot of emotion to that. There's a lot of perhaps past things behind that. But when you hear somebody else's spouse speak, all of a sudden it's kind of like you might hear it differently. And so all of a sudden some of the things that are being dealt with, maybe they resonate differently. And so the community is there to support each other. And so that's really part of what we provide.
And how do you choose the families that you help? How can, if someone's listening right now and say, you know, I could really use some assistance, how can they reach out to you?
Well, we have a website, and on there is a phone number. And so it's that simple.
Is there a criteria that you're looking for?
You just have to be a military family. But,
Mhm.
and first responders, I mean, we
Yeah.
are just there to provide a support network and try to, and you know, honestly, there's been some times where we haven't been able to help, but we at least try to guide you in the right direction and connect you.
Mhm.
And I mean, we can't always provide. So one of the challenges is what in case they need a vehicle. Well, if somebody hasn't donated a vehicle and we don't have one available, then it's challenging to just come up with that quickly. And so, but it's amazing how many times we actually have had something. I had like 4 microwaves brand new in the box donated, and I'm thinking, what on earth am I going to do with 4 microwaves? And literally 2 days later, we were contacted by a couple people. They're like, we got a couple veterans. They're really struggling with food. And do you have any microwaves? And it was like, yep, we do. Here they are. And that's what's such a blessing is, you know, you just never know. You take things and you're thinking, what on earth will I ever do with this? And then somebody shows up with a need. And that's really a fun thing. Mechanics are huge. Like I literally have 3 donated vehicles at my place that all have something wrong with them. And yeah, somebody who can just come out and say, you know, that wouldn't be real hard. I can fix that that's huge.
I have a feeling that you're going to get a call.
Well, that's good.
Good.
I have a feeling that my husband might have to do some things he doesn't want to. He's technically not like anyway, he fixes everything. But then he gets mad at me when I tell people he can fix everything. So don't if you're listening, honey, I'm not gonna tell her, but I really am. So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, that's
How many veterans are you working with right now?
So our community is right around 200. So
Wow.
And here's the thing. So like it's challenging because like right now I have a family, a lot of young children. They really need help. It's not something you're ever going to publish. They don't want their stuff out there.
Mhm.
So it's trying to find support in a quiet way that they're not having to be the ones putting their face out there. We're in trouble because
Right.
military people are quite proud.
Oh yeah.
You know, they typically have it all together. They don't like to ask for help. And so, you know, it's trying to do it in a very delicate way.
Mhm.
And so, you know, like this young family, yeah, they really need support. It's very challenging right now and a lot of trauma going on. We don't realize sometimes how the things that happen in the politics and the goings on affect our veterans.
Mhm.
You know, just recently, some of the world events have really set off a lot of trauma in the community, and that's challenging.
Mhm.
And so that brings new challenges and kind of, I would say, flare ups, and those have to be dealt with.
Mhm.
Now, are you working with local counselors and referring and that sort of thing?
So we're a non-counseling support unit,
Mhm.
but when we come to the place where they need a counselor, yes, we refer that. That is not something we take on.
Awesome.
But there are a lot of really great counseling places here,
Mhm.
and we try to connect them. And sometimes it's not always here. We talked about this on Heather's show. With COVID, we ended up going to virtual meetings, and our footprint expanded hugely, like overnight, because now you don't have to come to a local meeting. Now you can be on a virtual meeting. And we literally started reaching veterans in Florida and Missouri and Maine and places we just never thought we'd reach.
And you're helping them. That's terrific.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was saying is if there was a benefit to COVID is the fact that a lot of people did get out there and were able to do things virtually and reach a much larger, like you said, footprint and be able to help people that maybe there's not a Providence Veterans Farm in, you know, North
Missouri.
Carolina or Missouri. Yes. So they were able to access what they needed through you guys because there was that virtual opportunity. And I think that we've seen that now because a lot of people are, you know, those that are still slowly going back into, you know, in person, some are still keeping that online presence too, that virtual presence, because not even just because of COVID now, but it's because they've realized wow, what a great opportunity to reach people that didn't have those opportunities.
And how large is your farm, and where are you located?
So we're located in Concord, just between Appomattox and Lynchburg, just off 24.
Mhm.
And we have 90 acres. And
So you were saying something about the veterans could spend a couple of hours or a couple of days. You have cabins available.
correct. Yes.
That is beautiful.
Yep.
That's how is it only Appomattox and the Concord area
That's
veterans?
the only link. No, I mean, anybody who's willing to come to Concord.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mm.
We don't ask for their address.
Yay.
So now let's chat about mushrooms.
Yeah.
Legal.
He's got a bag full.
Legal mushrooms. I have a bag full here. Y'all have to listen. It's going to crinkle because I'm going to take one of these bad boys out so everyone here can see them. But so when Beth Shan was on my show, she brought me some mushrooms, and the people listening can't see these, but they're awesome. And she gave me some to try, and I did. And then I was like, I need more mushrooms because they were so good. So tell us how you're raising money with the mushrooms.
So, like I said, when it came to we're going to be fundraisers all the time, we basically just said that's really just not the avenue we would like to go. And it is great to find things that are therapeutic. So agriculture is a very therapeutic thing. And so we began to search for something that would support the nonprofit, and mushrooms came up. So
Literally.
literally. So we have built a 7,500 square feet, and we grow mushrooms. And right now we grow about 150 pounds a week. And when built out, the barn will actually grow about 10,000 pounds a week. We're not even close to that, but we are at the Lynchburg market and the Bedford market currently, and we sell out almost every weekend.
And irony has not been lost on me when you think mushrooms grow in darkness and in, validity, I guess you could say, people can overcome
That's
their
right.
darkest moments.
And here's
Yeah.
the fun thing: ours don't grow in fallacy.
They
They actually grow in wood and soy, so there is no smell. There is no stink. These are, and the health benefits to them is
And they're
like
yummy.
through the roof.
Mhm.
And you were talking about them tasting like lobster
Yeah.
and bacon.
Right.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
The lion's mane that she gave me last week, we went home and I cooked them that very night. Like, so I know some of you out there are thinking, "Ew, mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms." Okay, I'm sorry. Mushrooms are fabulous. I love them. I didn't like them when I was little, but your taste changed. So if you haven't tried a mushroom, try a mushroom. They're good. But I think it's all in the way you cook them too. And so I followed Beth Shan's advice on how to cook them, and I'll have her tell you. But there are some recipes on their
There
website. But yes, the lion's mane, when you saute it up and cook it in the pan, just like crab or lobster is kind of
Oh,
the
man.
taste you get, and even the texture
Mhm.
is like it. So we cooked that up with the blue oyster ones that you gave me. We cooked them all in a pan, and yeah, it was delicious.
And that's a beautiful way to still feel like you're eating proteins if
That's right.
you're avoiding meats.
That's right.
Let's say, yeah.
Yes, they're very high in protein, very
Mhm.
high in antioxidants. The lion's mane does very healthy things for cognitive, so things like depression, things like brain health, and they taste good. I don't like mushrooms. Unlike Heather, I don't even like mushrooms. But these don't taste like mushrooms. They have a very different flavor and very healthy for you.
Mhm.
And so, the health benefits and the support the military families, and just the whole thing, it creates an environment that is very fun to be involved in.
You're doing good things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we and the people who grow them are the veterans. The
Mhm.
veterans are the ones growing them and their families. We have currently we have a veteran who's a 30-year retired, and his mom who's 90. They live on the property. We have a young lady who's in her 30s who's a reservist as well as a veteran. She helps out a lot. So, we're supporting, I mean, it all supports the families. So.
So what is the website people can go on to order the mushrooms? The mushrooms.
How many of those mushrooms have you had?
How many mushrooms can? Yeah, make a tongue twister with that.
So we don't sell those kind of mushrooms.
Good that you clarified that.
Thank you. I bet we don't have a sales go by where somebody doesn't ask, do you sell those kind of mushrooms? And that's just not what we sell. But you can go to missionmushroom.com, or you can go to the providencefarm.org. Either one of those will take you. They both have links to each other, and you can order mushrooms there. And we are working towards having pickup spots.
Yes. So hopefully the
Mhm.
Central Virginia Business Coalition's office in Forest will become a pickup spot for anyone that orders mushrooms. And maybe you're in the Forest Bedford area. You don't want to drive all the way out, to Concord and get them, but you can order them, and we'll have a pickup day that you'll come to our office and get your mushrooms. And like I said, if you don't show up on your day,
Heather's going to
Heather will take them home. And so you are donating to Heather's Mushroom Fund at that point, because I will take them home and gladly eat them, because they can't just stay
They
in
just
the
can't go
fridge.
to waste.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, so no, we are looking at being a drop off spot for Providence Veterans Farm, because that's one of the reasons I love our new space. It gives us so much opportunity to help our nonprofits and give our community access to them, and so I'm excited for that.
Maybe you can open a taste sampling day. Come out.
So
and-
we did
yeah.
that. So at the market here in Bedford, they had Apple Festival on the last day of the every week market. So this week is Bedford's actually having their farmers market on Saturday. It's their November special, and then they'll do it also in December. But we actually did a taste testing, and the funny thing was, it was this little hors d'oeuvre, and it had mushrooms and apples because it was an apple festival. So we had to mix those together with some caramelized onions and cheese. And everybody's like, "So can I buy the hors d'oeuvres?" I'm like, "No, I'm here selling mushrooms." But yeah, I mean, once people taste them, it is. I mean, the hardest thing is people who say, "I don't like mushrooms," and I'm like, you just have to try these because they're not typical mushrooms.
Yeah. And like I said, too, if you go on their website, I know your husband has put up a bunch of recipes that he has
Yes.
actually
We've actually made them.
them. Crab cakes.
Yeah, so you can
and
take the lines
meatballs.
and make crab cakes. That's one of our favorites. I have to say that the blue oysters are kind of the utilitarian mushroom that we grow. But I love them fried, bread them and fried, and they taste like calamari, but without the chewiness. And put them in a sandwich in place of like a chicken tender. It is really, really, I mean, the things that you can do with them, add them to your typical pasta dish. I love to shred them up and add them to my scrambled eggs in the morning.
a salad, tossed salad.
I mean, they have such a unique flavor that they really go with a lot of things. So
How long do mushrooms stay good for? Like once we've picked them.
So I mean, that's one of the benefits is buying local is that, typically like those mushrooms literally were picked less than 4 hours ago. So when we go to market, the mushrooms that we pick are no older than 24 hours old. So they can last in your refrigerator in a paper bag, which is what we serve them in, for about 5 days.
Okay.
If you are going to keep them longer, we suggest you actually put them in Tupperware.
I know. I was getting ready.
Yay!
I was getting ready
There
to
we
say,
go.
watch this segue over to our next guest.
So you put
Fabulous.
them in the Tupperware.
Smart.
The biggest thing that we ask you not to put them in is something plastic, because then the moisture, they kind of condensate and they kind of get mushy, and that's not really good for them. And in a Tupperware, they can last up to 15 days. We strongly suggest you use them probably in a 10 to 12 day period, but we've actually had people use them like 20 days later and they don't find them to be any different.
Can you
So,
freeze mushrooms?
You can.
Okay. I
We
wasn't sure because of the
actually-
water content. I wasn't sure how
We also have dehydrated. People use them in soups and that kind of thing.
What? You just blew my mind. Now I'm going to need some of those too.
And dehydrated mushrooms do very well once they start to
That's
cook in
right.
warmed
Yep.
liquid.
Yep.
Yep.
And we actually, for Christmas, one of the things that we're doing is you can actually buy a block and grow your own at home.
Oh, that's
So
right.
you can, grow your own mushrooms at home.
Inquiring minds. I like to learn something new every day.
Yes.
Mushrooms don't have seeds, do they? How do they grow?
No, they don't. It's mycelium. So we actually take the spores and we introduce it to substances that have been completely heated to the point where they have no other things in them. So no competition to the culture that we're putting into them. So you can use things like wheat, or you can use oats, or some people use soy. And so you would inoculate them with spores. So mushrooms propagate themselves. So you're just, the mushroom that you just grew, you take spores from that and you put it into a new form and you create seeds.
It's alive.
Yeah, that's right. And then you put those seeds into the wood and the soy, and the mycelium grows, and you expose it to light and moisture. So the room is like walking in a London fog all the time. The room is just constantly fogging, but not raining. And that gives you the opportunity for the mushrooms to grow.
See, on Talk Local to Me, you not only learn about local, but you get science.
See?
Well,
We are educational.
Well, sometimes
think
I
it's-
like to learn new
That's
things.
fabulous. I didn't know any of that. I'm sitting
Aren't
here
you glad I asked that question?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I honestly, like, I hear the word like spores, but I'm still sitting there. And okay, I did good. I was a biology major at one point in my life, but like things like that, you don't really think about how it grows.
Right.
And
So it's 51
that's
days
awesome.
from the start to finish.
That's it?
51 days. And that is the cycle. So from the time you pull that spore off a mushroom to the next mushroom, it takes 51 days.
What a neat Christmas present for those who are truly hard to buy for. If they
Yes.
like to cook, they can put it in their windowsill, and instead of the basil and the
Yep.
dill, they'll have their own mushrooms.
They have their own mushrooms, and they grow multiple times. So once you pick them, they'll grow back probably 2 or 3 times. And so they just keep propagating.
Are there different varieties that you're selling? So like
Yes.
you can purchase
Yep.
different variety blocks.
Yes, ma'am.
How much
So
are
we
y'all
have,
selling this?
$20.
Darn it, Beth Shan. So I was just talking about I wasn't going to buy. I keep doing these buy local things, and I'm buying stuff everywhere I go. And I'm like, okay, I'm safe. I'm safe here. Nope, I'm going to have to buy some of those for myself.
Yeah, the hardest person you have to buy for growing their own mushrooms is a fun thing.
Let me just
And
give you my
it
card
supports
now.
veterans.
Oh my goodness. Well, so up until this past Saturday, the fanciest mushroom I've ever eaten was sliced mushrooms from Food Lion, and no, I've had portobello, like the
Okay.
stuffed
Oh,
portobello
yeah.
mushrooms. Like I went through this phase where I thought I would just eat healthy. And so, you replace the portobellos with, hamburger meat.
Hamburgers
Yeah,
and
right.
portobello.
Now they're good. I'm not gonna lie, but that's the fanciest I've gotten until the other day. And I ate lion's mane and blue oyster, and I felt fancy, and they tasted like lobster. I was like, look at me, high class mushroom eating in my house.
That's
So-
right.
But so definitely, if you're out there and you're listening, there are so many ways to support Providence Veterans Farms. Whether you want to donate items, whether you want to donate, monetarily, whether you want to purchase mushrooms for yourself, for others, if you want to buy a block for Christmas. What am I missing? I mean, there's just so many things. If you want to donate your services, service provider people, let's do it. If you're out there,
Please, yeah.
yeah, help out Providence. Give us the website one more time.
providencefarm.org or missionmushroom.com.
Thank you again for coming with me and
Bringing her bag of mushrooms.
bringing me a bag of mushrooms. Which there's a lot of mushrooms in here. I will probably
You can share those.
I will share my mushrooms. But yeah, so perfect segue over to Miss Tina. We were talking about, where do you want to store those mushrooms at? Tupperware.
And our Fridge Smart containers,
Fridge Smart containers.
which is designed to keep your produce fresh longer in the fridge up to 21 days.
Okay. So Tina. All right. For those of you who have never met Miss Tina, I love Tina Miller. Tina Miller is the local Tupperware rep that we work with, and she is a sponsor of the Central Virginia Business Coalition. She is a delegate, aka GEMS team. We just changed that name because guys didn't want to be GEMS anymore, so now we're delegates. And has been for 3, 4, 5 years. How many years have you been? It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been as long as I've been here.
Yes.
So Tina knows a lot about what we do, and we try to support her, and of course you know, our big mission is supporting local, buying local, shopping local. So holiday season's coming up. Now, Tina is one of those that don't have a brick and mortar. You can't just walk into her shop and purchase your Tupperware. So we like to make sure that we're highlighting not just our retail, but our retail that are, you know, whether it's through festivals or shows that she's at, going to her website and purchasing things there. So Tina, tell us about Tupperware.
Tupperware. Tupperware has been in business for over 75 years, and I've been a part of the business for over 25 years. And we're still growing very strong. And speaking of COVID and how COVID did slow things down, and as Beth Chan said, COVID did help us a lot because people were homebound. So they learned to cook. They wanted to preserve what they had cooked and to preserve it before they even started cooking. And our parties are virtual, most of them. We're also now getting back into home parties, but any way you want to party, I'm ready to party because my job is a party.
Yes.
All right, Tina, I have a question before we get into it. I remember a Tupperware from the 70s,
Okay.
you know, growing up, and there were only like 3 or 4 different things that you could choose from, and maybe the deviled eggs container. How many different products does Tupperware have? And more importantly, how do we keep track of the tops?
I agree.
Best question. That just won the whole day. That's the best question.
Now, at one time, we did have a keeper for
Yes, I remember
seals
that.
to keep your seals straight. And we actually had that on sale a couple of months ago, but that's not something that we carry continually. But I would suggest keeping them in a drawer separately from your containers and everything else.
And not popping them up there in the cabinet.
No, dedicate a drawer at least for your Tupperware seals.
You're very welcome, those listening.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm not even-
And how many different products do you have?
You know, I'm not sure of the exact number because Tupperware is continually coming out with new products all the time.
Is it basically KitchenAid, or do you carry different products for areas, different areas of the home?
Well, one product in particular, which is called our modular mates, people use them all throughout the house. Men use them in the garage, even for storing their tools and little things, and you can use them in the bathroom and the bedrooms, kids' rooms, so anywhere. The modular mates are like a building system for storing your Tupperware products. But yes, they are used throughout the house.
So it's a great organizing tool.
Absolutely.
well, you
Not
also
just in
have
a
toys.
kitchen. Right.
Yeah, there's also toys.
Absolutely.
Like
Toys.
children's toys.
Children's
You have
toys, we do have a Shapo ball, and that's been out since late 50s.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that I'm asked about all the time, whether it's an in-home party or whether it's a festival or whatever. People are always asking about that toy. Right now, Tupperware is offering that toy, which usually retails for $30, and a play date pack is what it's called, featuring the Shapo toy, 4 ideal little bowls, and the sippy cups, which people ask for all the time as well. And that retail value for that whole pack is $75. But right now, through November 24th, that's on sale for $39.
Wow, that's
So you can
really
order
good.
that from my
Did you bring that
website.
card?
I'm leaving.
Where's your purse?
Just take it, all of y'all. No, so let me just say something about those sippy cups. Those sippy cups. So my grandparents had those sippy cups. It's got the little plastic top on it in the different colors. I don't remember. It was like red, blue, yellow, green, maybe. I can't
Yes.
remember all of them.
Yes.
I remember I had the red cup. Like, so when I went to grandma's house, that was my cup, my red Tupperware cup. And I remember seeing it at one of the events you were at. And it's so crazy how Tupperware will bring back a childhood memory
Yes.
for me, because just seeing that sippy cup reminded me of being at my grandparents' house and knowing, like, you know, don't you steal, you know, my cousin Tiffany had the blue cup maybe, and my brother had the green cup, and my cousin Matt had, you know, the yellow cup, or, you know, you didn't steal nobody else's cup, because then you'd be in timeout. Like, you'd be in trouble because they don't like you to have their cup. But it just brings back so many memories. And you see some of the older Tupperware items now, like when you go out, and some of that is, I mean, it's vintage. Let's
is.
just be honest.
I've
it
got
is.
some vintage Tupperware.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
from time to time, Tupperware will come out with the vintage products and the sometimes the older colors, but mainly in the new colors. But the vintage product itself. Did a vendor show in Clifford on Saturday, and I had one of the old retro cake takers, and it was an older lady who was beside me in her booth, and every person that came to my table, she talked about that cake taker and how she had it, and they all reminisced
Yes.
about the products that they had, especially that particular cake taker.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about when I first met you a couple of weeks ago. It was before Halloween, and we were talking about running an ugly or a scary Tupperware contest. Did you run that contest?
I did,
Uh,
and I didn't have a lot of takers on that, but I did put out a bowl that I had that had gotten too close to a burner on the stove.
Ooh, was it pretty scary looking?
Tupperware people do that too. It was quite scary looking.
Yeah,
So scared. That's hilarious.
And speaking of
and they're
that,
still using it probably.
that was
oh,
what I
no,
was going to
can't
say.
use it because it melted all the
Oh.
way through. But speaking of that, we do have the lifetime warranty on products, but not if you put it too close to the burner like I did. So it's on things that are broken, cracked, chipped, or peeling that you use normally. Not if something was not recommended for the microwave, you put it in the microwave anyway. No, Tupperware will not warranty that. But we do have the lifetime warranty on most products still.
So speaking of the modular mates, I have I'm not sure if these are part of the modular mates or not. You have to tell me if I'm wrong. But the spice, the little that you stack on top of each other.
They are.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I love those. If you're one of those people that has one of those spice racks where like there's just a bunch of spices like just thrown up in there, I have the modular mates that are the spice, and so you can pour the spice into those, and then they connect and stack on top of each other. That's probably one of my favorite Tupperware products of newer things that I've bought. There you go. From there, again, back to school. You learn things.
Absolutely. Those spice shakers are great for storing your spices, and you can keep them. Some people have kept them for over a couple of years, but typically spices are no good after 3 to 6 months. That's the lifespan if you keep them in the original container.
Oh my, I've got some that have been up there for
Eeks.
2 or 3 years.
Well, you may be able to still use those, but they won't be as pungent as
Right.
they were when you first opened them.
Wow.
So
That's why half my food tastes bland.
Well, sometimes if you put a spice or an herb between your palms and you rub real hard, it'll release some of the fragrance and the flavors.
what
but
little that is left.
but if you
yes.
have it in Tupperware in the first place, you don't have to do that.
you keep clean hands.
Yeah, yeah.
So aside from the toy, the product you were talking about, do you have any other like holiday items that are up for sale right now that y'all are doing specifically for
We
holidays?
do. One of the other toys that we have is called the Pop-A-Lots, a Pop-A-Lot toy. And what it is two bell-shaped devices that you have a ball in it, and you
Yes.
you hit the bottom of one, and then your partner would try to catch the other one. That's a great toy. We have a boat. We also have a frozen little mini cake set that features a mini cake taker for plates, for tumblers, and a pitcher, just like the old style pitchers. And we have a baking set that's great. So lots of toys. And while I'm on the toy line, it would be a great idea. I've posted it out there for people to maybe purchase some of the toys and probably donate to Toys for Tots.
Oh yeah,
Because I've just heard that the Marines' birthday is today.
that's right.
And of course, they sponsor the Toys for Tots. So if you're interested in doing a quick fundraiser for that, or to purchase some products that you would like to donate to Toys for Tots, please visit my website at tinamiller.my.tupperware.com, or just message me so we can work that out. We do have plenty of other products that are on sale right now as well. Then I would also like to tell you that with a $75 purchase between now and the 24th of November, that you get a free gift. So it's 4 gifts that you can choose from.
Do you have
with the
anything large
purchase.
enough for like a whole turkey? Let's say you're responsible for baking the turkey this year, and you need to transport it somewhere else.
Now, we did have that. That was on special last month.
Oh,
But we do have large bowls. Now, I don't know if you want to put a cooked turkey
in a large bowl to transport, which you can. We have one that's on sale right now. It's a 59 cup bowl, and that's one of the largest bowls that I've heard of that has a liquid tight seal, airtight liquid tight seal.
And of course, cake pans and the pie pans, they're probably popular items.
Absolutely, yes.
And do you still carry, I remember as a kid, the popsicle makers?
Mm-hmm.
We don't typically keep those year round in the
Right.
catalog, but they do come out from time to time. And incidentally, I do have a couple of sets left.
Anything picnic, that'd be kind of a neat idea for Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. For those of us who like warmer weather.
Yeah. So one of the things we've been talking about is, of course, supporting local. And, I keep hearing about people are talking about all these shortages in items they're like, oh, you better get all your stuff now because it's not going to be here. There's, get all your stuff for your kids. And we have talked about the importance of purchasing locally because there's not really a shortage. But with let me just ask, with Tupperware, are y'all seeing any shortages of things coming in, like with things that people maybe are ordering? So should they order, a little bit more ahead of time?
The biggest thing that we have issues with and shortages would be the products that are on sale.
Okay.
Right now, we're looking at those tours in particular, not looking for them to last until the 24th. I can't say that they won't, but more than likely they won't. But we do sell out really fast.
So if you've bought your child like an Easy Bake Oven, you should get that frozen cake set because then they can make it and then they can party with it, and that's like a whole entire package, and that's super cool. So I'm just going to throw that out there for anyone who's looking
I
for
love
an
my
idea.
Easy Bake Oven.
I did too.
Well, and if you don't have an Easy Bake Oven, if you have the Crystal Wave soup mug that we sell, 2 for $20, you could bake a little cake in the microwave for about 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the wattage of your microwave. And then you could cut that cake in half and decorate it and put it into that little mini cake taker.
Are not all of the Tupperware products are microwave safe, or are they?
They are not. No,
No.
everything is not, and it's marked. So we do have symbols on the bottom of the products that will let you know whether or not it's microwave safe or freezer safe.
And what about the
Or
dishwasher?
safe
Yeah.
as well. Yes.
Awesome. So as a local small business, and this is one thing I like to ask, and I can sit here and spout out why it's important to shop local. I can throw facts and figures out at you all day long. But as a local small business, tell those listening, how is it so important to you? I mean, for people to shop locally?
It's very important to me because I don't have a brick and mortar store. So I need people to come in to visit me or my store through my website. So yes, it is very, very important for you all to shop local. Because when you shop local, you're supporting my business as well as helping yourself with the products.
Do they still have Tupperware shows? Do people
Absolutely.
still host those?
They do, yes.
Oh, okay.
We have done a lot virtually because of COVID, but yes, we're coming back out now with a party.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things, along with like what we were talking about with Beth Shan, is we're gonna have opportunities at our space
Those pop-up shops.
to have pop-up shops. So it's a way for us to help our members that are not brick and mortar. So, y'all may see, if you're following the Central Virginia Business Coalition Facebook page or you're part of our newsletter, you may see where we're going to do some of those pop-ups for some of our artisans and crafters that may say, hey, this day we're going to have Tina Miller here all day, and she'll have herself set up. You can come in, you can purchase items, you can look at her inventory. And I think, that's a way that we are striving right now to help our local businesses that don't have brick and mortar shops. Just giving them a space because, festivals aren't every day, all
That's
day.
right.
And,
No.
And of course, I wish we had had this space last year because, like, with COVID, there was no festivals, really.
Very, very few.
Very few. So, we're working on that. But hopefully we'll be getting some dates out for that leading up to, Small Business Saturday, but even through the holidays, we'll have some pop-up shops with our local vendors. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I'd like to do something like that, contact us because we'd love to set something up with you.
And Tina, you were saying you've got a lot of Christmas items right now, but there's one Christmas item that people may not be aware of is we're pulling out all those holiday decorations. Are we going to stick them back in the cardboard and go back up into the attic? How large of these containers do you have? Could we fit Christmas decorations back into them at the end of the holiday?
You can. the smaller to medium size ones you could fit in the modular mates, yes.
And it keeps all the dust and the spiders and everything out of it.
It does, the moisture.
Yes.
As
There
well.
you won't get the mildew.
Also, another thing that we're offering is your own shopping link. So if you can't catch up with me, then text me, email me, or go to my website and let me know that you would like your own personal shopping link. That way, anytime you want to shop 24 hours, 7 days a week, you have that opportunity to just go to your shopping link that I will set up for you. Or you could host a party that way as well.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank both of you so much for being on with us today. I think we've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. But between, different ways that we can help our community, our nonprofits, our veterans, our local small businesses, it's been a
Parade
lot.
deadline is the 19th.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I could feel it. I could feel it coming. But yes, and I will also mention again that the Welcome Center is going to be open tomorrow from 9 to 5. Ferguson Family Provisions food truck will be there from 11 to 2. And so I want to make sure that everyone knows on Veterans Day that is something that is happening here in Bedford. Proceeds from lunch sales will be donated to the National D-Day Memorial in honor of Veterans Day. And then the D-Day Memorial is hosting a ceremony tomorrow at 11 a.m. So you can take time to honor all those that have served the U.S. Armed Forces during the event. Admission is free. It's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it includes, a keynote address from, I'm going to say the name wrong, I bet you, but Mitchell Yokelson. He manages the National Archives and Records Administration Archival Recovery Program and teaches as a professor of military history at Norwich University, and he's the author of many books. And then they'll also have a special tribute to D-Day participant Major Frederick Kellum of the 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment. So there'll be music, dedication of veterans bricks, and recognition of local veterans. So a lot going on tomorrow at the D-Day Memorial here in Bedford.
Yeah, and if you see a veteran out, many of them wear their caps.
Mhm.
Please take a moment and just thank them, shake their hand, give them a little elbow bump and thank them for their service. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
It's just a little thing that we can do for them.
Yes. And from us at the Central Virginia Business
Absolutely,
Coalition,
yeah.
we thank you for your service, your time, and for allowing
sacrifice,
your
yeah.
sacrifice. So you have listened to Talk Local to Me today, and we are going to be back next week. I will have the hemp mill from Venton come in to talk with us about the products that they have and how they can help you. See you soon.